welcome back to A Safe Place. If you're new here, my name is Mariah and I am so glad you're here. We are currently going through the book of Genesis, and so if you are new here, we're currently in the Lenten season of 2026 and we'll be finishing Genesis by Easter. So today we are getting into chapters 10 and 11, and I'm going to go ahead and put in a little disclaimer because there's a lot of names in this one, so please bear with me because I'm going to mispronounce many of them and I hope that's okay. So, just a little recap on the end of chapter 9. Ham told his brothers that their father was drunk and uncovered in his tent. And when Noah woke up, he cursed Ham's descendants, but Shem and Japheth both received blessings. Okay, let's look at their genealogies, essentially. These are the generations of the sons of Noah, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Sons were born to them after the flood. The sons of Japheth: Gomer, Magog, Madai, Javan, Tubal, Meshech, and Tiras. The sons of Gomer: Ashkenaz, Rippeth, and Togarmah. The sons of Javan: Elisha, Tarshish, Kittim, and Dodanim. From these the coastland peoples spread in their lands, each with his own language, by their clans and their nations. The sons of Ham: Cush, Egypt, Put, and Canaan. The sons of Cush: Seba, Havilah, Sabta, Ramah, and Sabteka. The sons of Ramah: Sheba and Dedan. Cush fathered Nimrod. He was the first on earth to be a mighty man. He was a mighty hunter before the Lord. Therefore it is said, like Nimrod, a mighty hunter before the Lord. The beginning of his kingdom was Babel, Erech, Akkad, and Calneh, in the land of Shinar. From that land he went into Assyria and built Nineveh, Rehoboth-ir, Calah, and Rezin, between Nineveh and Calah. That is the great city. Egypt fathered Ludim, Anamim, Lehabim, Nephtahim, Pathrusim, Casluhim, from whom the Philistines came, and Caphtorim. Canaan fathered Sidon, his firstborn, and Heth, and the Jebusites, the Amorites, the Girgashites, the Hivites, the Archites, the Sinites, the Arvadites, the Zemarites, and the Hamathites. Afterward the clans of Canaanites dispersed, and the territory of the Canaanites extended from Sidon in the direction of Gerar as far as Gaza, and in the direction of Sodom, Gomorrah, Admah, and Zeboam, as far as Lasha. These are the sons of Ham, by their clans, their languages, their lands, and their nations. To Shem also, the father of all the children of Eber, the elder brother of Japheth, children were born. The sons of Shem: Elam, Asher, Arpachshad, Lud, and Aram. The sons of Aram: Uz, Hul, Gether, and Mash. Arpachshad fathered Shelah, and Shelah fathered Eber. To Eber were born two sons. The name of the one was Peleg, for in his days the earth was divided, and his brother's name was Joktan. Joktan fathered Almadad, Sheleph, Hazarmaveth, Jerah, Hadoram, Uzal, Diklah, Obal, Abimel, Sheba, Ophir, Havilah, and Jabal. All these were the sons of Joktan. The territory in which they lived extended from Mesha, in the direction of Sephar, to the hill country of the east. These are the sons of Shem, by their clans, their languages, their lands, and their nations. These are the clans of the sons of Noah, according to their genealogies in their nations, and from these the nations spread abroad on the earth after the flood. Whew, that's a lot of names. Rather than showing respect and discretion, Ham thought seeing his father naked was a joke, revealing his true character and setting up a pattern of bad behavior that continued through his descendants. Ham's descendants, Canaanites, Ninevites, and Amorites, were all enemies of God's people. Shem and Japheth acted respectfully by walking backward to avoid seeing their father and covered him with a robe. Their descendants reflected the benefits of respectful behavior and attitude. From Shem would come Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, and eventually Christ. Like father, like son, like mother, like daughter. Like it or not, how our kids think and behave is more caught than taught. What ungodly attitude have you displayed this week? If your family or friends have been affected negatively by a choice of yours, how can you change things going forward? Is there someone you should thank for keeping your family or friend group in check spiritually? Our thoughts and actions today become the legacy we leave for future generations. At some point, we will all be a name on a family tree. Will your impact lead your great-grandchildren to be friends or enemies of God? What an intense question. But what a great reflection to recalibrate our week with, right? If your Monday got off to a bad start, what an invitation. If your weekend wasn't the absolute best and you're carrying some of that baggage into this week, can I just encourage you to face some of that head on? And that's me talking from a place of I definitely have some things that I need to check my heart on in that sense too. So let's all do a little heart check, and then we're going to pick up where we left off in chapter 11. Where we're going to look at the Tower of Babel, where God confuses people's language and scatters them around the earth. Let's see maybe why he did that. Now the whole earth had one language and the same words. And as people migrated from the east, they found a plain in the land of Shinar and settled there. And they said to one another, "Come, let us make bricks and burn them thoroughly." And they had brick for stone and bitumen for mortar. Then they said, "Come, let us build ourselves a city and a tower with its top in the heavens, and let us make a name for ourselves, lest we be dispersed over the face of the whole earth." And the Lord came down to see the city and the tower which the children of man had built. And the Lord said, "Behold, they are one people, and they have all one language, and this is only the beginning of what they will do. And nothing that they propose to do will now be impossible for them. Come, let us go down, and there confuse their language, so that they may not understand one another's speech." So the Lord dispersed them from there over the face of all the earth, and they left off building the city. Therefore its name was called Babel, because there the Lord confused the language of all the earth. And from there the Lord dispersed them over the face of the earth. These are the generations of Shem. When Shem was 100 years old, he fathered Arpachshad 2 years after the flood. And Shem lived after he fathered Arpachshad 500 years, and had other sons and daughters. When Arpachshad had lived 35 years, he fathered Shelah. And Arpachshad lived after he fathered Shelah 403 years, and had other sons and daughters. When Shelah had lived 30 years, he fathered Eber. And Shelah lived after he fathered Eber 403 years, and had other sons and daughters. When Eber had lived 34 years, he fathered Peleg. And Eber lived after he fathered Peleg 430 years, and had other sons and daughters. When Peleg had lived 30 years, he fathered Reu. And Peleg lived after he fathered Reu 209 years, and had other sons and daughters. When Reu had lived 32 years, he fathered Serug. And Reu lived after he fathered Serug 207 years, and had other sons and daughters. When Serug had lived 30 years, he fathered Nahor. And Serug lived after he fathered Nahor 200 years, and had other sons and daughters. When Nahor had lived 29 years, he fathered Terah. And Nahor lived after he fathered Terah 119 years, and had other sons and daughters. When Terah had lived 70 years, he fathered Abram, Nahor, and Haran. Now these are the generations of Terah. Terah fathered Abram, Nahor, and Haran fathered Lot. Haran died in the presence of his father, Terah, in the land of his kindred, in Ur of the Chaldeans. And Abram and Nahor took wives. The name of Abram's wife was Sarai, and the name of Nahor's wife, Milcah, the daughter of Haran, the father of Milcah and Iscah. Now Sarai was barren. She had no child. Terah took Abram his son, and Lot, the son of Haran, his grandson, and Sarai his daughter-in-law, his son Abram's wife, and they went forth together from Ur of the Chaldeans to go into the land of Canaan. But when they came to Haran, they settled there. The days of Terah were 205 years, and Terah died in Haran. Lots of names in that one too, but let's chat about the Tower of Babel. So because of their rebellion and disobedience, God confused the people's language and scattered them around the earth. It didn't take long after the flood for mankind to once again rebel against God. At this time, all the people on the earth spoke the same language, allowing them to become unified in thoughts and actions. God knew that it was this unity, coupled with man's sinful nature, that gave them power to rebel against him. Building the Tower of Babel was an attempt to reach heaven and establish a name for themselves as a powerful nation apart from the Lord. But defying God always has consequences. He confused their language so that they could no longer understand each other, and separated them to put a stop to their rebellion. Our society is full of people who want to be famous just for the sake of being famous. Their biggest goal is simply to be known. Pride and human nature are always self-promoting. Is your chief desire to build a name for yourself or to glorify the name of God? He promises to elevate those who humble themselves under him. In what ways have you defied God by seeking your own interests? What were the consequences? In order to have a proper relationship with God, it is essential to accept his authority over our life. As God, it is his right to deal with defiance justly and appropriately. Today, how will you set aside your desire to be known and determine to elevate God instead? What I'll say to that last question, how will you set aside your desire to be known and determine to elevate God instead? Yes, I think we have a desire to be known by the world, but that desire is innate to us because we are known by God. And that mindset starts to change when we make Jesus Lord of our life, because then we get to know God. And when we get to know God as image bearers, we then become known, because we start to feel seen and heard and loved. And I think that is what we want most from the world when we're of the world, right? Like, we want so badly for someone to just like see us for who we are, to hear what we're saying and to relate to us. And when we're not doing that with a kingdom mindset, we lose the plot. Because that's how we get to that, like, thinking that you need to earn people's trust. And then it negatively impacts our relationship with God. Because when you start thinking that you need everyone around you to like you, you start thinking that you need to earn your salvation, that you need to earn a relationship with God, as if he didn't die on the cross for you and for a relationship with you. You see what I'm saying? And then we've lost the plot, right? And more than any of that is we're thinking we can do it ourselves. We're thinking we can make a name for ourselves. I don't know about you, but I would rather my name be written in the book of life than to be written in anything here. Take away a marquee sign. I want it in the book of life. I hope you have the absolute most blessed Tuesday, and I will see you back here for chapters 12 and 13 tomorrow. Okay, bye.